more than she liked. Some admired her confidence, others whispered that she was too bold for a proper young woman. But Clara had never been interested in being proper. She preferred the open sky, the quiet hush of prairie grass, and the way the world felt honest when she rode alone at dusk. For weeks, she'd been hearing talk about a strange outlaw haunting the outskirts of town. Folks claimed he appeared like a ghost, never violent without reason, but dangerous enough that no man wanted to cross him. They said he robbed only those who deserved it and vanished before any posse could give chase. Clara didn't believe half of what the townsfolk said, but the stories lingered in her mind like a burr stuck to a boot. One warm afternoon, she rode down toward the river bend to gather wild herbs for her father's supper. The sun shimmered across the water, and the cicadas hummed in the trees. That was when she noticed a horse tethered beneath a mesquite tree, sleek, black-coated, and too fine to belong to any local ranch hand. Her breath hitched. Someone was nearby. She moved quietly, curiosity pulling her forward. Then she saw him, a broad-shouldered man crouched at the river's edge, washing blood from a fresh cut on his arm. He turned at the sound of her step, eyes sharp and shadowed. "Don't scream," he warned, voice steady but strained. Clara's heart hammered, yet something in his gaze held her still, something tired, something human. She didn't scream. And with that choice, her life took a turn she never saw coming. He hadn't meant for anyone to find him, least of all the sheriff's daughter. Colt Remington had spent years surviving by staying unseen, slipping through the cracks between law and lawlessness. Tonight had been no different. Another clash with hired guns sent by a crooked rancher he'd exposed, another wound he'd stitched up beside a quiet stretch of river. He expected solitude. Instead, he got Clara Hayes. She surprised him. Most folks froze or reached for a weapon at the sight of an outlaw. Clara did neither. She stepped closer, her hands steady even though he could see fear flickering beneath her calm. Without asking, she tore a strip from her skirt, knelt beside him, and pressed the cloth to his bleeding arm. He stared at her, confused by her courage, unnerved by her kindness. "You shouldn't be here," he muttered. "Especially not with me." "And you shouldn't be bleeding alone in the woods," she replied simply. He'd met plenty of people in his life, liars, thieves, men who'd shoot you for blinking wrong. But this woman, she looked straight through the dirt, the wanted posters, the warnings. She saw the hurt beneath. It rattled him more than any bullet. After that day, Colt found himself riding near the river more often, telling himself he was keeping distance but always ending up within reach of her favorite spot. And Clara, despite knowing it was foolish, returned too. She brought him bandages, food she claimed were extras, and stories about the town she secretly wanted to escape. Their conversations were short at first, careful, cautious. But gradually walls softened. She laughed. He listened. He spoke. She trusted. It was dangerous for both of them, a sheriff's daughter and an outlaw sharing breaths by moonlit water. Yet neither of them turned back. Something was building between them, quiet, steady, inevitable, waiting for the night it would finally break free.